Moment of truth. Turn off power from the grid. See if the light stays on. So this is where the power comes into the house. Go through the main breaker. It used to be connected to the smaller breakers, the individual breakers, by this bus bar here. And what I did was took those out, ran the wires. So the Growatt only needs 240 input, so only 2 wires. I have that running to the wall. It comes out the other end to the Growatt, and then this other wire, this one, comes back from the Growatt with split phase, which goes through another breaker and then back into the panel, which then distributes to the rest of the house. I was thinking to do a separate panel for like critical loads, but this seems easier. We'll just control what we use when we're running off the inverter. Okay, so the wire that goes through the wall comes out here. Up. So the 2 wires that came from the main breaker is here. I have it go into a switch which I can set on a schedule. The inverter. The split phase that's coming out. Probably gonna add another sensor here or breaker, and then it goes back into the panel. And here is the solar, and here's the battery connection. That all goes under the house. So the title might have been a little misleading, not really 100% off the grid. So here is a sense energy monitor, which I have hooked up to the house. It's pretty good. It shows you exactly how much power you're using. I have these solar additional sensors here, which senses it's made to sense how much solar you're bringing in and putting out into the grid. But in my setup, I have this one hooked up to sense how much I'm pulling in from the grid. So right now, I'm actually getting all my power for the house from the grid. It is 12 a.m., so the electricity rate's quite low. So it's better to just run everything off the grid at this point. And actually my battery is really low at this point, so let's get back to how much how much we're powered by the battery or how much we're going by the grid. So again, this is hooked up to sense how much grid power. So for the bill month of March, so far we're at 49% powered by the grid. So I'm on a time of use type of plan. So for the last few days I've been charging up here from 10 to 4 p.m. This is the cheapest time we have right now. And from 10 to 6 a.m. it's kind of a mid halfway point. It's about 20 cents. And this one here is about 17 cents here. So I'd rather charge up here, run it through the afternoon and night. And then from night on I use the grid at the night power rate. So if we kind of look through the few days, it's been roughly about 50% getting power from the grid, not solar. So let's see, 43% from the grid. It's not loading. Let's go next day. Not loading. All right. So I think the next step would be if we can get rid of this charging here from the grid. So again, yellow is how much you're bringing from the grid, and the actual usage from the house is only about 1 kilowatt. And we're drawing 2.1 from the grid, so that means we're about, we're charging at 1 kilowatt hour into the battery. So if we can replace this with charging by solar panels, then we should be able to get off the grid even more. Actually I already have 8 more panels sitting in the garage, so next steps will be to put those up somewhere around the house. That's it for tonight. Have a good night.